Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Real trouble is brewing between Gachagua and his boss, William Samoei Ruto, as far as the appointments of state officers in Parastatals is concerned. A study that has been leaked out shows that William Ruto is kicking out the former bosses into Parastatals, mainly from Mount Kenya, and replacing them with members from his own community, the Kalenjin community. In the previous regime, as has always been the norm, the winner takes it all and you appoint your people. Most CEOs and heads of parastatals hailed from Mount Kenya, courtesy of the goodwill of the former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And now the person at the helm is William Samoei Ruto, and he is busy replacing them with members of his own Kalenjin community. Someone is revealing this in his tweet. Okur Okot was saying that the offensive, biased and unconstitutional appointments of Kalenjins only to all state parastatals and even private offices is deeply distressing to many highly educated non-Kalenjin Kenyans, as they see their Kalenjin peers enjoy unlimited access to contracts and lucrative deals, which they use to flaunt their quickly acquired wealth ostentatiously. The deep sense of grievance is noticeable everywhere. What William Ruto is doing is so damaging to so many young non-Kalenjins. It will last with for the rest of their lives. Tribalism is being deliberately asserted so grossly that it is obscene in the extreme. It is toxic, destructive. That is Okuro cult. Let me tell you something. William Ruto is doing a very, very deep grave. And if he's not careful, he's the one who will get into it. But the last time I checked, his deputy Gachagua had declared that this is a company, actually a Kenya Kwanza Limited company, and that those who had shares are those who woke up and voted for them. According to Gachagua, and he's got no apology for it, those who did not vote for them do not have a contract with the Kenya Kwanza team. And Rigathi has made it very clear that appointments, when it comes to all appointments to state officers, the Kenya Kwanza team, that is the two tribes that mainly voted for them, the Kikuyu community and the Kalenjin community, must get a lion's share of these appointments. He has also said and asserted very firmly that when it comes to projects like roads and dams and what have you, the lion's share must go to the Kalenjin and the Kikuyu community, and he says that this will teach other Kenyans a lesson to vote for them. I remember the other time the Secretary General of the Jubilee, Cleopas Malala, said, and when he was in Kisumu, that if you possess a UDA membership card, then when they're appointing, when they're recruiting policemen and the members of the forces, including the military, then you will be given first priority. So according to the Kenya Kwanza team, they must dictate things depending on which side of political divide you belong. It now turns out that this is an animal farm, that some animals are more equal than others. Within the Kenya Kwanza company, where Rigathi has come out very clearly as someone who is fighting for the Kikuyu community. Remember the other time when Sakaja wanted to remove the long distance vehicles from the CBD, Rigathi Gachagua came out with guns blazing, and he said that this was going to interfere with the businesses from the Kikuyu community. Now it turns out that even within this company, Kalenjins are more equal than the Kikuyus. This is a very delicate topic to handle, but we must call a spade a spade. Let me put a disclaimer here. It is not all the Kalenjins who have been employed. I know there are many graduates from the Kalenjin community who have not been employed and they are in need of jobs. I also understand that there are very many Kikuyus who are graduate and they merit being in offices, but they have not been employed. So it is not like we are accusing the government or accusing the members from the Kalenjin community or the members from the Kikuyu community. What we are saying is a report that has been leaked, and it is a fact. You can do your fact checks. The few who have been appointed are from one side of the community. Rigathi Gachagua has been making a lot of noise, but now he is muted. I can't see him complaining, and sources say that he tried raising this point, but the one who is pulling the strings, I understand, is none other Farouk Kibet. I understand that Farouk is so ferocious that you don't talk. If you do, then you are in trouble. Remember the other time they told us that you can't see William Ruto before you pass through, without passing through Farouk Kibet. And I understand that there are people who are really disappointed, but they don't want to come out because they fear the wrath of Kenyans. People like Ndindi Nyoro and Kimani Chungwa, I understand, are disgruntled, and there are a lot of undertones, and so they are at a loose and they don't know what to do, because the more they keep quiet, the more their people are being replaced by the Kalenjin community, people from the Kalenjin community. And if they talk, Kenyans will shout. You know what Kenyans are waiting for? They are waiting for an altercation between these two leaders, because we know they are trying to hide it, but there are a lot of things that is coming in between them. You all know that William Ruto has preferred Musalia Mudavadi to Rigathi Gachagua. He sends him outside when he wants someone to represent him within the heads of states beyond our borders. He prefers Musalia Mudavadi, and Rigathi Gachagua is not taking this lightly. He has been complaining. This is one thing that has been a problem in Kenya, where a winner takes it all. Anytime we go for an election, we have post-election violence or undertones. Why? Because we have such a dangerous constitution that if someone has been elected, or when someone is elected into office, he is everything. He will appoint all the state officers, ambassadors, cabinet secretaries, and there is no law guiding him on how he should do this. And if you look at the way people have been trying to suggest remedies on this, it was there in the BBI, where they're saying that the person who comes second in any election should also be given an office, so that people feel that they are part and parcel of this government, or of any government. I think it is time we amend our laws, we amend our constitution to compel any government that comes to place on how they appoint state officers. We should compel a government that is formed to ensure that if there are state officers that should be appointed, it must reflect the face of Kenya. And it must go deeper to explain that it must restrict that if you were to appoint members of the cabinet or state officers or ambassadors, then your community, people coming from your community, should not exceed a third, so that the other 3/4 are shared among the other communities. If this law is placed, then I can assure you that you will not even hear people or see people fighting after every election, because everyone will feel that they are part and parcel of this government. I also understand that it is so serious within central Kenya or Mount Kenya, so much that they have decided that they have picked up from where they left. 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote. because they now realize the importance of the BBI. They now realize that the person who really convinced them to vote against Uhuru's choice, the person who was leading the cause that Uhuru is bad, Uhuru abandoned the Kikuyu community, is now doing the same thing, sidelining them. In the first value, when you see people like Kimani Chungwa talking, you may think that they really have some nice moments within this government. But the truth is, there are infightings within the government because the appointments are not equitable. So when all other tribes are crying, the members from Rigathi Gachagua community are also feeling the heat. And ladies and gentlemen, the only way that we can cure this disease is to amend our constitution to ensure that there is equity, to compel a government to ensure that when it comes to appointments, when it comes to dishing out projects, it must be natural, automatic, because all Kenyans are taxpayers.